The plot just keeps becoming more convoluted, more twisty. It keeps thickening, doesn't it? Because we've got Don Wells telling us that Summer just had to be around and would hold his hand, was Daddy's little girl. We've got then Candace Bly attempting to convince us that Summer was her shadow. Now, it's not both. This little girl was not deeply attached to both of these parents and had to spend every moment of her life attached to one or t'other. You know, there's something going on here. They are using Summer to hurt each other, to hurt each other's feelings, to one-up each other, to put the other down. Poor little Summer, where was her place with these very self-obsessed people? Don the abuser, we know this, Don the abuser. Don, who is so abusive to the point that he has forgotten details surrounding a very devastating event that happened to his wife when he was around. This is the missing person case of Candace Bly's sister, Rosemary Bly. He was around. Who is rubbing what in whose face here? These people hate each other. They are constantly jostling for pole position to hurt, to then mollycoddle, to placate, to abuse, manipulate, to gaslight, to hurt, to use, to charm, to abuse. What the hell? This dynamic, this very dysfunctional dynamic between Candace and Don. It doesn't matter if neither of these people had anything to do directly with the disappearance of their daughter Summer Wells. I mean, these two have created an atmosphere of abuse and neglect, of emotional abuse. They confuse this little child. They use her. You can see it. You know it. Which is it? So Don is saying that Summer is deeply attached to him. She's Daddy's little girl. Mummy is saying she's like her little duckling. Quack, 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 quack. Can't be without Mummy, is Mummy's little shadow. I don't believe both of these things are true. I believe both of the parents use Summer and any affection or anything to do with Summer to play games with one another. These two immature people, Don, who is 20 years older, this isn't a problem in itself, but so much older, especially considering that Candace, when this older person met her when she was extremely vulnerable, a single teenaged mother to two children who soon lost a sister. What sort of predator is Don? Is he just an extremely kind, understanding, nurturing person who just wanted to make everything better for Candace? Or is he some sort of wolf who has seen exactly what he needed in Candace and he said, oh yeah, here we go. this is my subjugate. This is the person who is going to be my supply, be my punching bag, physically and emotionally. You know, have they just been this dreadful yin and yang to each other? This terrible, awful click, you know? Because abusers know exactly who to look out for. They look for the vulnerable. They look for the weak. We know this from cultists and cults, you know, we know this from all sorts of studies and just life experience history. Abusers seek people ripe for the picking, people ripe for manipulation. And hey, who's to say maybe a decade or two down the track and someone's a little stronger, but they're now mightily even more fucked up. What capabilities do these damaged and then destroyed and abused people have to rise above things and to take people in their life out of a situation, you know, people that might be relying on them like children? And what happens when a very young, well, of course, young, you know, when a daughter comes along that is everything you aren't, because she hasn't suffered what you've suffered yet, and she hasn't lost what you've lost yet. And there's a person right there every day of her life that you can have interaction with whilst you affect that girl's life trying to affect his. And your daughter is pretty, a real spark. Does she remind you of your sister? Does she remind your husband, your partner, of your sister? How is she affected when the tensions of your relationship just boil the hell over? I think she's probably a little bit of a punching bag emotionally, isn't she? You can't commit to her, can you, Candus? You can't be there for this beautiful daughter, especially not when she's getting attention from Don. It's convoluted, it's complex, it's dark, it's worrisome. Yeah. Where is Summer Wells?